Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. I just moved my computer again, which, how many times have I, and the chair is still popping. It's going to collapse. I just hope it doesn't collapse onto my legs or feet. Um, so let's see. I have moved, switched, I have two tables. I call them desks, but they work as, and you've seen this set up before. Now, I a few hours ago I was sitting this way, and now I'm sitting this way. Right there is the door coming in here, and so I have both monitors here on this, and I have changed because I was asking your opinion. Nobody gave me an opinion, so I guess if there had been something wrong with it, you would have let me know. So I've gone back to 1920 by 1080 for both monitors. Hang on a second. I just got an order in a few minutes ago. If you've been following me, some of you will. I think I could lower this thing a little bit and you could see a little bit more of what's going on, maybe. My legs and feet are swollen big time, and they've been that way for months and years, actually. They were actually this way when I went, and how long ago was that, to Washington, D.C. and spent 2 weeks there. And I walked for about, when I got there, my daughter, oldest daughter, and her husband, they said, what do you want to do? And I, of course, they knew I wanted to see Washington, D.C. Big history fan, big political fan. Even when I was in grade school, I skipped grade school to watch the Kefauver hearings and things like that. Some of the famous hearings that took place, I was at home watching them when I was a kid. So anyway, I wanted to see places. I had never been to the northeast part of the United States. I had never been, of course, in Washington, D.C., and all these places that if you haven't been there, that you see on the news every day and stuff like that. I wanted to see that, so I said, how about 3 or 4 hours a day, every other day? And they said, sounds good. So that's what we did. Now, they're both vegetarian, vegans, whatever. And I mostly ate their food. There was a couple times in that 2 weeks they were right next to a small mall, and I did go over there once, and I had some Chinese food, and then I went over another time, and I forget. But other than that, I was eating their food. Now there's a favorite restaurant, eating place in Washington, D.C. that somebody who's running for president of the United States needs to pop in there and be seen and appear on the news. And if you're a president, you need to pop in there and be seen, that you have been there. Forget the name of the place, but we did go there. And I'm not sure what they ate, but, I had a chili dog, I think something else. Okay. So, I'm not a vegetarian, and I don't. I'm not one of these people that has something that's going to, going to try to convince you. Oh, this is, you need to do this, or did I hit a key there and disconnect us? No. No, I'm not one of those kind of people. And Anyway, went to Washington, D.C. I ate their food for 2 weeks, and my feet went from being gross, which they are now, to being normal sized. And when I left there, my feet were normal sized. I guess my legs too. I know my feet were. And returned to where was it then? I think that was, I forget. I think it was Fort Worth. Yeah, it was. So, hey, that says something. I mean, I walked about 3 or 4 hours every other day, and I ate their food. And, I mean, that's remarkable. And I've been making my doctor's visits and things like that, and get to talking to the doctor, the nurses, and I'll tell them the same thing I'm telling you. So, I'd look into it. Of course, my feet are back swollen up, and do as I say. You know. I've been having a hell of a time with shoes. So for quite a while I've been wearing these. I forget, well, I could do shoes. I could pull it up, couldn't I? Because I ordered it from there. Yeah, let's go over here. Okay, now these I just got. I haven't even, let me go back to my beautiful picture there. I don't have everything set up here exactly the way, because I've moved everything, and of course I'm always moving everything, so things are never set up. Let's see. Still need to bring that camera down some, don't I? Oh, this camera's going to have to be moved. The cameras are going to have to be moved in order to get what we need. Flip-flops. What size did I order? We'll find out here when we go to the, let me cut this. I broke a glass the other, well, it was a bottle, a small bottle of something from the dollar store. Cherry, or, well, I bought two. One broke right away. So I purchased, let's go to, no, I know what I ordered. 10 and a half, I think. I think that's it. I don't think I'm going to show you my feet, because that can run your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made in China. Okay, so. Shit, ouch. Okay, let's see here. I think, wait a minute, maybe it goes the other way. It looks like this thing doesn't, the length, but where's the Velcro go? Does it go on here? Yeah. Is it going to stay on though when I walk? Well, is where I fell outside, except I did both knees and elbow, and I had a cut on each hand or whatever. Okay. You know, I didn't need, okay, so I could have got by with less in size because I needed it with the other shoe, with regular shoes, you know, you get the, but I could have done, let's see if I can walk here. Well, the shoe, it came right off. You know, okay, the Velcro, I mean. So I have to work on this situation here. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. You know, this might actually work better with socks. The shoes that I just recently got. Whoops, that about came out of that. I have to watch that because that can make me fall. The other shoes are here. Here are the other shoes. Now I bought a pair of these shoes, which were oh man, I think the size may be in there. Yeah, 9, or maybe that's a number 49 or something, which is maybe the way 46 or something. Okay. Anyway, I have a pair up there on the shelf that I bought, and so that, you know, I didn't send them back. You know, whatever, I kept them, but too small for me to even get my feet into. Keep in mind, my feet are all, you know, swollen. So I bought these, and the right foot I can kind of slide my foot into, where there's, you know, and then the left foot takes, you know, whenever I'm doing anything, well, my heart rate shoots up, my blood pressure goes up astronomically, you know, if I have to do something like putting on shoes, you know. Now maybe these shoes here will be, you know, maybe they'll be different. I don't know. And I'm gonna, but anyway, I've got both of those on right now. So what else did I want to tell you? Oh, I'm supposed to have cataract surgery on the 3rd. I've mentioned, if you watched the previous videos, I'm having trouble. I need paperwork from my regular doctor. I can't get hold of my regular doctor, and I can't get an appointment there, although I'm not really supposed to need an appointment, because it's not really it's more of like, you know, I've mentioned that in the previous videos, so won't go over it again. So right now I do not have the paperwork, one sheet of paper with 5 questions on it, you know, for the doctor to check. Like, can they give me a local anesthetic, or can they give me some other type of anesthetic, or whatever. So I'm supposed to have this surgery on the 3rd, and today is the 28th, and they're not going to give me the surgery if I don't have this doctor's slip from a, and I don't know. I left a message with the employees, you know, the desk people or whatever, and they sent me back a message saying, you know, I told them, hey, I need between now and the 3rd, and you know, actually before the 3rd, you know, like that. And they answered back in a message, doctors are all scheduled up for, you know, for now, and we can't work you in. Then I left a message for the doctor to explain to the doctor, you know, that the doctor that I normally use there, and no reply, which is unusual. She always replies. So I'm afraid she may be on vacation. Maybe took extra time off because of, I don't know what. So I haven't heard back from her yet, and I'll wait tomorrow and try again. And then tomorrow I think I already sent an email to the place where they're going to do the surgery, explaining that I haven't got that paperwork yet. Oh, I did get an email from a company. Okay. I got an email that said, which was good news. I got an email because I didn't really have any idea it was, you know, of course I have health insurance, you know. But I got an email from the company, but not from but, you know, all these things have, you know, more than one. Here in the United States, you're dealing with, you know, Medicare, Social Security, or whatever it is, and if you need your yearly card, that's been farmed out to another totally different company that does that. That's their specialty or something, and they do that for every kind of, you know, and it's that way with you know, that's with everything. And like people who have the insurance that that I have and millions of others have, every year you get a new membership card, and they turned it over to a new company, to, you know, or to a company new to them, I guess, to make these cards and do the computer stuff and all that kind of stuff. That was the card stuff. And it took 3, 4, 5 months for people to get their cards the first time. Now, this time we got them, you know, they fixed all the problems. They probably dealt that out with other companies, divided that up with other companies. But anyway, I got a thing today, email, Not, it doesn't come from ophthalmology associates, whatever. It comes from, I don't know, XYZ or something, you know, saying, oh, you're having surgery on such and such a day. Please enter enter your date of birth and your last four digits of your social security number, and then something else, And then I did that. And then they come back and say, okay, well, you're going to owe $150 for the surgery. And that needs to be paid now or on, you can pay on the 3rd. And anyway, I thought $150 I thought was, reasonable. I mean, it would be nice, I guess, if I lived in the UK or Canada or any civilized country in the world. The government health insurance would have taken care of all of it, probably. Did I? No, I didn't. And naproxen I think today is the first time in a long time that I took I've been taking my morning meds and not getting them. Sometimes days I haven't taken them, none of them. And, there are heart pills there and other pills that I'm supposed to take. But today I took them all. Well, for morning, I took them all for morning. Whoops, wrong file. Anyway, I took them all for the morning. Here's the naproxen for pain. I've got a doesn't feel like it's going down. I have a fear of choking. Well, not just a fear. I mean, I've done it. In fact, I did it on camera here. In fact, I was sitting exactly I had my computer at that time set up this way. So, where was I? I forget. I have, I think, another pair of shoes coming. Let's go to orders. Okay. Well, my son, he's 47. He's got some Hess toy trucks coming. Police truck and a cruiser that he can play with. He's 47 years old, by the way. And I used to work for Hess trucking company making trucks. I actually forgot about that company. I worked for them a few years. I actually forgot about them. When I was working there, I had my head cut open. I was working underneath there. They made, at that factory, trucks that haul Pepsi, Coke, water, that type of thing. But they make, I guess, all kinds of trucks and stuff. But when that's what we made, is trucks for hauling Coca-Cola and Pepsi and milk and things that were bottled. Anyway, my son, not because he doesn't even know that. I actually forgot I worked for them for a while, for a few years. Then I also worked for the KW Dart Truck Company, 2 divisions. Kenworth, the over-the-road trucks. I think they're kind of like the Cadillacs of the, and then I worked in the Dart Truck division there, and worked for quite a few years there. And both, all these truck jobs are United Auto Workers Union. I have one of the, here it is. And this is one of the smaller trucks. I worked in the body shop, so, I worked, be 3 of us, sort of a layout man, sort of a supervisor type, and then 2 of us welders that did all the welding. Now, these trucks are gigantic. They're too big to travel on the roads and highways, and I think we could put those on a railroad car and ship them out. But the big trucks were a lot bigger than that. We had to build them, and they had to take them apart to get them to fit on railroad cars. So my grandson was living with me, and he picked that truck up, that model truck there, and he picked the truck up and said, "Well, why do you have a toy?" And I said, "Well, because I used to work for that company and make those trucks. I worked in the body shop and I made that." He said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yeah, I did." "No, you did." Now, you'd think that, you'd think like that I told him that I don't know, made something, something, like a nuclear bomb, Well, I made nuclear bomb. Something, you'd think it was like something like that. I said, "No, indeed." I don't think he still believes me that I made big trucks like that. But my son just came in just now, and I don't think there's any Coke. He goes through at least 10 Cokes a day. 10 Cokes a day, and he drinks other things, 2-liter bottles of different soda drinks or whatever. And his eating has always been on the heavy. Now, he's not big, I mean, he's not, but now he's going through, you wouldn't believe, 3 burritos, just part of it, like 3 burritos that he, puts, and then other stuff at the same time, or just, wow. Luckily he's not putting on weight, but I don't think it's generating brain cells enough for him or something. Where was I? Anyway. So, we were going to look at, what were we going to look at? By the way, I have, just for myself, I'm not trying to sell shirts to you guys. Oh, you can't see, can you? I think I need to go back here, don't I? No, I guess not. I've got for myself a shirt coming that just says, okay, I'm going to be, let me jump over here. Yeah. It just says showmeblog.com, which if somebody clicks on that will take them to my YouTube site. And then I've got a hat coming, just one. I'm not trying to sell you hats. I mean, if I could order in a bunch, well, I wouldn't have to order them in. I could just make a deal like everybody else does with someplace, and I looked into it a long time ago, and you can design something, and you don't have to like pay. Well, of course, I mean, I guess you could, find a graphic artist or maybe somebody in your family that's artistic. You can have them, but design it, and then But no, you just design the words you want or whatever you want on a hat, T-shirt, whatever you want, and then a lot of people. Uh, a lot of people try to sell those. Well, you see people on YouTube. I'm sure probably actually selling them, or else everybody wouldn't be doing that. But what I maybe would like to do is, well, I'm a poor man. If I can get YouTube to, they're finding them, and after all this time, actually I've been there a while, but they weren't showing me that I was bringing in any money, but I was. I don't know how much they owe me now. I think it's, the last I heard it was, but 200 and, it was under $300 that they owe me, but I can't get it because the Texas state ID does not want to work with my bank account or whatever. I don't want to go ahead and be too specific about what the problem is. I mean, you're not stupid, so you can figure it out. But I just don't want to make it too easy for somebody that's not an honest person. Now, as soon as I can correct those things, they should pay me the money that, and then I'll have some money coming in, a small amount. Well, I've been getting nothing for years from YouTube and from Amazon, basically really nothing. I think one year I took in, I think it was in January, and that was probably because you guys purchased something around Christmas time using my link, and I think so far I had that one year I got like $75 or something like that, I think, for January or something, and the rest of the year, $15 one month, $5 another month, 0 months. I mean, so nothing, But this other thing should work out better because I can see the statistics now of how much I'm actually making some money on YouTube finally after, what did YouTube start, 2005? I was 2005. Of course I was streaming on my own for years before there was a YouTube. In fact, as far as I know, I was one of the first people. You can never be like the first, you know what I mean? Like, we say the Wright brothers, invented the airplane or whatever. No, somebody in France invented it, somebody in Russia invented it, and Albert Einstein, not Einstein, the telephone guys. Those people, they filed like within minutes of each other, to get the patent and that kind of stuff. And turns out, so when you say, I was the first one, no, yeah, and of course I know I was not the first. I was one of the first to stream live video. I did it for years before there was a YouTube. And, but what I would maybe what I could do, since these hats and T-shirts not all that expensive, even with, putting on it what I want on it, maybe what I could do is, buy a few and then have a drawing or just occasionally send one to, to somebody. I mean, You don't all have a, like if you were a member, there'd probably be like a membership number or something. And then I could just set a random, generator to, pop up that number and then send you a hat. I mean, the hat would fit anybody. Well, I guess the shirts would be, well, it wouldn't matter. I mean, I'd have to, I guess for shirts, I guess I'd have to order, small, medium, large or something. I guess it wouldn't be right to say, you know, fat people only will be getting I'm giving away to a fat person only, be sure, that wouldn't work out. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But anyway, there will be a hat coming from me that says showmeblog.com, and there will be a t-shirt coming from me that says showmeblog.com. And if you have some, well, they actually, I think, I don't know how good it will, we'll see when it gets here. Yeah, that's right. They said you can send a JPEG, and something else, one format. So they will reproduce that exactly. So maybe somebody out there is an artist and could create something for us. And maybe we could do something like that. That's one. I mean, there's tons of people doing that kind of stuff on YouTube and other, TikTok and every place else. So I'm not going to be not one of the first people, in that regard. Okay, 36 minutes, and I haven't even said anything. I guess I'll walk around a little bit inside with, I think I might have mentioned that, and I didn't finish today. The other day I broke a glass bottle in little tiny pieces, and when you do that, and I don't wear shoes around here because even though I can get my feet into some shoes, it's like, that hurts. But now I got these, and if they work out, if I break another thing, I can walk up, because I mopped up the water. It wasn't water, it was root beer or something. And then I picked up all the little tiny small pieces of glass that I could see, and then I double-checked, triple-checked, quadruple-checked, and then I saw a little piece, and then I got a little piece stuck in my foot, which luckily my feet are so that I didn't want to be in there anymore, I don't think. And I took a vacuum cleaner, went in there and vacuumed the kitchen, which is linoleum or whatever. Of course, you can use a vacuum cleaner. And then after that's when after that, no, I saw a piece about the size of my little finger there. And that was laying on the floor. So I back a few years ago, I scratched my leg on the bed frame, a little scratch. That got infected. I went to the hospital and they looked at it and it was like, how did you get here? And I said, I took an Uber. You should have taken an ambulance. So I was there for 6 days. And then I left AMA, Against Medical Advice. I've talked about that. Okay. I got lots of work to do I'm not going to worry about getting that form signed today. I'll worry about that tomorrow. And I won't worry about some other things. But, oh, I do? Now, of course, I think that'd be a lot more expensive. I have a BBC mug, British Broadcasting Corporation. I donate to the local public radio, system or whatever. Not very much money. I think for that, I do $10 a month or something. I don't have much money. I'm a poor man. Oh, yes. Somebody should write a thing. I'm a poor man. I'm sure somebody has. try to come up with something that somebody hasn't done. Probably be a, oh, I've also got this one BBS con. I attended that. I've talked about that before. In Colorado Springs. A hospital ER doctor. We were friends, but, well, still are, I guess, if, well, I don't know where he is there, you know. But he drove me up there in his pickup truck from Kansas City, Missouri, and it was fun. It was like we pulled into Colorado Springs, and he said, well, I don't have a map, and I said, you don't need a map, and I took out my ham radio and, you know, keyed up on the repeater for Colorado Springs. I said, can anybody give me directions to whatever they, you know, I'm at such and such or whatever. And a ham came back, said, okay, well, yeah, Jim, here's how you get there. And I thought that was pretty, when that kind of stuff happens. Before cell phones, you know, ham radio operators were, you know, out with ham radios with them. And I found several traffic accidents, you know. There was nobody else there, you know. And I found, I think, fire or something one time. I can't remember all the things that came, you know, that came up. And back then, before 911, of course, but of course they had dispatchers, you know. But we could make a ham radio operators. We could make a phone call through our ham radio, you know, because the club would pay to have a, you know, phone patch set up in at the base of the, you know, wherever we had our antenna on top of some tall building or something like that. So that was kind of fun, you know. And you'd have to talk, you know, I'm calling on an amateur radio over the with the, you know, using the telephone or something like that, and I see there's a car accident here at such and such. But also back when I had the patrol service, for about a year I had my own private patrol service. It was just me. Well, I used another person a time or two, but that didn't work out. A lot of people really don't want to work, and for some reason, I don't know why, I always worked 100%, worked 110%. And I just, I don't know, I just did it. I know that's not normal, you know, because when I was working with other people, I saw other people, you know, when cell phones came out, like two of us were working when after 9/11, you know, at airport, you know, and in the control tower. We were responsible for the control tower security. So there was one of us inside and then one of us at the gate, and we switched every 2 hours or whatever. And the guy who, you know, he would, well, we worked at one place where there wasn't anybody in the control, where there wasn't anybody there in it, at that airport. Now, a lot of aircraft took off from there, but there was no air traffic control for them. They weren't delivering passengers, they were delivering, you know, the amount of stuff that goes, you know, we think of passenger airlines, you know, but I think there's more flights with aircraft, you know, hauling stuff. And that's what it was at this one airport. I think it was mainly stuff, parts for autos and stuff being, you know, going out. But anyway, so at that thing, so the security officer that worked, we switched every 2 hours. So when he went inside, he used one of the telephones inside to talk to his wife. And then, you know, when he came outside, he used, you know, the phone. Well, he used the phone in the shack to. But although we both had cell phones at that point, but he used the phone, I think, in the shack to, then when his wife went to sleep, he used his cell phone, I think it was, to talk to her for the 2 hours that he was there. I mean, this place was, uh, but you know what was strange about it? You know, they were worried about control tower safety and that type of stuff. The first control tower, first place we worked, uh, well, I guess I can go ahead and say, why couldn't I say, Love Field in, Dallas, Texas. Um, Now that place, they had high fences around it, and with barbed wire, and then they also had, gates where they could control from the control tower or someplace they could control and open the gates and that kind of stuff. And we still did the 2 hour, switching thing and whatever, but anyway, I've been talking too long. I'm sorry. I got stuff I need to do because I moved everything. And so now I got wires that are hanging down and all kinds of stuff that I need to fix up. And then as soon as I get it fixed up, I'll be moving stuff again. I got 2 of these tables, wooden tables. There's one here and then one here. You may have seen these before. I need another one of them. I think it should go over there. But anyway, thanks for watching.